Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 6 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 6 and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter probability. The lessons we're going to cover today are make predictions, probability of opposite mutually exclusive and overlapping events, compound events, find the number of outcomes by counting, identify dependent and independent events, and probability of dependent and independent events, right? So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Let's just start. Lesson we're going to start with is make predictions, right? Okay, if you spin the spinner 7 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will land on pink? Okay, let's just see what is the probability of pink first, right? So, the probability of for pink is you have only one portion pink out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The probability of pink is 1 by 7. Got it? Because you have only one portion pink out of the 7. Now, you spin the spinner 7 times. So, you have to multiply the probability of pink by 7 times. So, 7 and 7 cancel out. You are left with 1. That means the best prediction is if you spin the spinner 7 times, it will land on pink only 1 time. Got it? The correct option is 1. You can see here. The probability of pink is 1 out of 7, right? Now you have to find 1 out of 7 of 7. The best prediction is 1 out of 7 times. Got it? Let's just start with the test questions. If you flip two coins 8 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times both coins will land on tails, right? If you have two coins, right? For example, you flip two coins. How many possibilities do you have? Head, tail, head, head, tail, head, tail, tail, right? You have four options. What is the best prediction possible for the number of times both coins land on tail? You have only one outcome. So the probability of both tail is 1 out of 4, right? Good. You did that 8 times. So 1 out of 4 times 8 is 2. The correct option is 2. Very good. It is 2. Got it? If you spin the spinner 12 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will not land on blue, right? Okay, let's see not land on blue. The probability of not land on blue means it will land on pink then, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of 12 are the one it will not land on blue, right? You did that 12 times. So 9 over 2, 12 times 12. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 9 it is, right? The correct option is 9. Okay, if you spin the spinner 6 times, What is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will land on yellow or green? Which is the correct option? The correct option is six times. The correct option is six. Because the probability of yellow or green is 6 out of 6, that means 1 it is, right? So the probability of 6 times is 6. If you spin the spinner 9 times, what is the best prediction possible? It will land on yellow. Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, option number 1, 6 it is. Very good. If you spin the spinner 10 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will land on yellow or blue? So, which is the correct option? Land on yellow 1 out of 5. Yes, the correct option is 10. The best number of times it will land on yellow or blue. Yes, 10 it is. Sorry. I just forgot the blue. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is probability of opposite mutually exclusive and overlapping events. So let's just start with the first lesson. You pick a card at random. What is the probability of not orange, right? So not orange means the rest of the cards are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 7 out of 9, isn't it? But you can do the other way. Calculate the probability of orange, yes, and subtract it from 1. Like here, probability of orange is 2 by 9. The probability of not orange is 1 minus the probability of orange. In both the cases, the answer is 7 over 9, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. You flip a coin. What is the probability of not tails? Which is the correct option? Probability of not tails means the probability of head. Like for this one, you need to calculate the probability of not tails, right? First, you have to calculate the probability of tails. The probability of tails is 1 over 2, right? Probability of not tails means 1 minus the probability of tails, right? If you subtract the probability of tails out of 1, you are left with the probability that is for not tails. Got it? So you have to do 1 minus 1 over 2. That is again 1 over 2. When you convert it in percentage form, that is 50%. Got it? The correct option is 50%. You spin the spinner once. What is the probability not pink? Not pink means the other color, right? You can do both ways. The other colors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 10, right? When you convert it into percentage form, that would be 90%. The other way you can do is calculate the probability of pink. That is 1 out of 10. The probability of not pink is then 1 minus the probability of pink, right? And 1 minus 1 over 10 is 9 over 10. So that's just your understanding. Whatever way you find easy, you can do. Any question? 90% it is. The correct option is 90%. You spin the spinner once. What is the probability of not 6? Which is the correct option? The correct option is 5 over 6. It is very good. You roll a six-sided die. What is the probability of not even? Yes, 50% it is. Because 50% of them are even and 50% of them are not even. You pick a card at random. What is the probability of not green? Yeah, 6 out of 8. And when you convert it into percentage form, that would be 75% it is, right? Just multiply and divide by. Multiply by 100%. 75% it is. You pick a card at random. What is the probability not greater than 5? 4 out of 8. Yes, 1 out of 2. It is very good. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is compound events. Find the number of outcomes by counting. Okay, you pick a marble and pick a card. How many outcomes are possible? So basically, you need to calculate the possible outcomes. Shalom, sorry, I just saw your message and now I'm on the next lesson, right? So the lesson will be saved once I am finished. The lesson will be on the channel, right? You can just go through the first 15 minutes again, right? Or I think you can join me in the interactive session. Okay. Okay, you pick a marble at random and pick a card. Whenever you are given compound events, right? Compound event means more than one events. How do you calculate the total outcomes? For example, for this event, the marble one, you have one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six marbles you have. For the cards, you have one, 2, 3 events, right? You need to calculate the total outcomes. You need to multiply the outcomes of both the events, right? You have to do 6 times 13, and 6 times 13 is 18. The correct option is 18 it is, right? Simply have to multiply the outcomes of both the events to calculate the total outcomes. Got it? Let's just start with the test questions. You spin the spinner and pick a card. How many outcomes are possible? Which is the correct option? For the spinner, you have two outcomes, and for the cards, you have four. So you simply have to do 4 times 2, that is 8. The correct option is 8. You spin the spinner and pick a card. How many outcomes are possible? Which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 8 times 2 is 16. So you have total 16 outcomes. The correct option is 16. You pick a card and spin the spinner. How many outcomes are possible? Which is the correct option? Yes, that is 4 times 3, 12 it is. You pick a card and spin the spinner. How many outcomes are possible? Which is the correct option? Very good. That is 5 times 3, 15 it is. The correct option is 15. You roll a die and pick a marble. How many outcomes are possible? Yes, 12 it is. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is identify dependent and independent events, right? Let's just start with the lesson. Okay, Mickey spins a spinner. At the same time, Sam rolls a 20-sided die. Are these two events dependent or independent? Basically, two events are dependent if the outcomes of the second event are affected by the outcomes of the first event, right? So you can, here you have a spinner and a die, right? Like they both have no connection. If you spin the spinner and you spin a die, you can have the number on the die and you can have the answer on the spinner. They are the independent events because the spinner does not affect the roll of the die, right? Okay, the next one is you can write the answers once. Mr. Christensen's students are picking slip of papers numbered from 1 to 30 to determine the order in which oral reports will be given. Stecky picks her first number first. Then Mason picks a number. Are these two events dependent or independent? They are the dependent event, right? Stecky picks her first number. Now the rest of them don't pick the first one. So the outcomes of the first event are dependent. Outcomes of the second event are dependent on the first one. They are the dependent events. Test questions. Justin picks a card at random. Without putting the first card back, he picks a second card at random. Are these two events dependent or independent? They are the dependent events, right? Because for the first time, when you are going to pick the card, you have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven options, right? You didn't put the card back, right? Now you're going to put, may you are going to select another card. How many options do you have? One less option. When Justice is going to pick a card at random for the first time, he have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven options, right? For example, he selected this one and didn't put the card back. He have now one, two, three, four, five, six cards, isn't it? So they are the dependent events because for the second time he have one less option. So they are the dependent events. The correct option is dependent. Got it? They are the dependent events. Option number one is the correct option. The next one is Jennifer picks a card at random, put it back, and then puts another card at random. Are these two events dependent or independent? So which is the correct option? Okay. So he have total three cards, right? For the first time when he is going to pick the card, he have three cards. He put the card back. He selected one card. He put the card back. Now for the second time he have again three options. They are the independent event because for both the events the outcomes are exactly same. If the outcomes of the second event are affected by the outcomes of the first one, that means they are the dependent events, right? But if the outcomes are same, they are independent, right? The correct option is independent. And thank you for your compliment. Tara pulls a coin out of his pocket and places it on the table. Then she reaches back into her pocket and takes out a second coin. Are these two events dependent or independent? They are the dependent events. Very good. How? First time, for example, first time when he is going to pull a coin, he have four coins, right? He take one card. Now he have three cards, three coins. Then she reach back into her pocket and take out. For the second time, he have one less coins. They are the dependent events. The correct option is dependent. It is. They are the dependent events. Aaron spins the spinner twice. Are these two events dependent or independent? Spinners and die. They are always independent events. Independent events, right? The correct option is independent. Dean and Christopher see a movie together. Dean picks a chair first, Christopher then Christopher does. Are these two events dependent or independent? Yes, they are the dependent events, right? Dependent it is. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next one is the probability of dependent and independent events, right? Okay, you pick a card at random. Without putting the first card back, you pick a second card at random. What is the probability of yellow and probability of purple? Okay, just understand these two events, right? For the first time, you are going to select the yellow card, right? You have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 cards. Out of 3 are yellow. The probability of yellow is 3 out of 7, right? Now you didn't put the first card back. You pick one yellow card. You didn't put that card back, and now you're going to select the purple card. You have one, two, three, four, five, 6 options out of one, two, three, four, one, two. You have 3 options out of 6. And the combined probability, the probability of yellow and purple, you have to multiply these probabilities. 3 times 3 is 9, 7 times 6 is 42. You can divide them by the 3, 3 over 12 it is. 3 over 14 it is. The correct option is 3 over 40, right? The test questions. You pick a card at You pick a marble at random. What is the pro? Without putting the first marble back, you pick a second marble at random. You did it. Okay. First time you have to calculate the probability of orange and orange. The first time you're going to select the orange, you have 2 options out of one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Now you select one of the orange. You didn't put that orange back. You're going to select for the second time. You have only one orange out of one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One out of 7. You need to calculate the probability of orange and orange. So simply multiply those probabilities. 2 times 1 is 2, 8 times 7 is 56. Divide them by the common factor 2. That would be 1 out of 28. The correct option is 1 out of 28. 1 out of 28 it is, right? You roll a 6-sided die 2 times. What is the probability of 3 and probability of 6, right? Probability of 3 is 1 out of 6. The probability of 6 is again 1 out of 6. So the probability of 3 and probability of 6 is 1 out of 6 times 1 out of 6. That is 1 out of 36. option 1 is the correct option. You spin the spinner twice. What is the probability of yellow and probability of green? The correct option is 1 out of 6. You pick a card at random. Without putting the first card back, you pick a second card at random. What is the probability of orange and probability of orange? Which is the correct option? The probability of orange for the first time is use your notebook and pencil, solve the questions on your own. Please do not just listen. This is mathematics, not any other subject. If you don't do practice, you don't know how. The probability of orange for the first time is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7 out of 12. You didn't put the first card back. You have now one less orange card, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orange card out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 6 over 11. You have to multiply them 7 over 12 times 6 out of 11. 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12. That is 7 over 22. 7 out of 22 is the correct option. You have to calculate the probability of orange and orange. For the first time, when you have 7 orange cards out of 12. You didn't put that card back. Now you have one less orange card. You have now 6 orange cards and the total cards are now 11. Because one card you already selected and you didn't put that card back. So you have one less orange card and also one less total cards. You have 6 over 11. So you need to calculate the probability of orange and orange. Simply multiply them. That would be 7 over 12 times 6 over 11. The correct option is 7 over 22. The correct option is 7 over 22. You flip a coin twice. The probability of tails and tails. So when you flip a coin, the events are always independent. The probability of tail is 1 over 2. When you flip the second time, the probability of tail is 1 over 2. So for the probability of tail and tail, you have to simply 1 by 2 times 1 by 2. So which is the correct option? That is 1 out of 4, right? It's okay, we'll cover this lesson again in the next session, right? Today we were working on 6 math. The chapter we were working on is probability. The lessons we have covered today are: make predictions, probability of opposite, mutually exclusive and overlapping events, compound events, find the number of outcomes by counting, identify dependent and independent events, and probability of dependent and independent events, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10, right? So if you have any question related to the lesson we have just finished, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So if you have any question related to the lesson we have just finished, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.